I feel like we're in an interesting spot right now. We're still on these inside day moves, but it's looking like the market kind of wants to have some upside. I'm still waiting just for now. I like to let the first few minutes play it out. But one I really have my eyes on. Let me see. Look at the VIX. That's the thing. The VIX still kind of creeping up. I was looking at Tesla. Tesla's actually on the move to the upside. I gotta see if that's gonna sustain. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and mark out that low. I'm at an alert for the low on Tesla. This is this is the 15-minute time frame. So below 251.23, and then I'm gonna mark out the high. Since we're about to close this 15-minute time. We're about to close this 15-minute candle. Around like 256.46. I'm gonna move this if this goes up, of course. But like with that move, if we break above the low or the high of this 15-minute candle, that's the direction I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna trade with on something. Let me know if you got any questions. I'll go over any stocks you want to see. Go back to check out SPY. See, SPY, we're over here looking, we're coming out this double inside day. It's looking like it really wants to push. Here's this BOK, it's BlackRock that just got triggered. They just came off of earnings. They hit a 3, which is basically a sign of a reversal. We came off this 2-1 setup, which basically was like a breakout was really meant to happen. So right now, BlackRock, we're triggering this 3, which is basically a reversal sign. And we're going into this bearish fair value gap. With BlackRock, I would target around about 878, 880. If it's gonna sustain that, we'll see. After 880, that'll be the real test to see if it's gonna head up to around 895 or so into 900. But yeah, I definitely will enter calls right here on BlackRock. He's on a 15-minute, yeah, so 880 is target on BlackRock. Those contracts are pretty expensive though. You can go to some cheaper ones. Let me go back to the SPY. We're about to trigger calls on SPY. It's looking like 528 with the next resistance once we trigger calls. I'm looking for SPY to get above, but 526.51 for that to trigger all the way. It's on 30-minute. Let's see on 15-minute. Hasn't made a real big move yet. I think we're green today just because we had PPI data came in a lot lower. It came in negative this time. That's the first time it's happened. PPI data came in low, and we're gonna have inflation data. Not inflation data. We're gonna have like the speaker speaking later today, but for now we're looking kind of green, and I think it's just a little relief rally, a little bounce. Let me know if you have any questions. Definitely go over anything y'all want to see. But here we go. It's taking a little while to load. I thought it was 5. I kind of mentioned this on the live you're on earlier. I really want to see it break above this 530 level to really bring us back inside of this channel that we were in before. Here, you can see it better on this. Let me make it smaller. You can see it better on this weekly time frame. We've been trading inside this channel on SPY for years, and then we finally broke down out of it, and now we're kind of bouncing back up to retest it. Here's this alert. Got triggered by Tesla. Oh yeah, Tesla, like, she's ready to go. It's about to test this 260 level. I'm actually looking at swinging some calls into Tesla for next week. But for right now, definitely want to see Tesla touch this 260 level. And then there's a gap fill right here. You can't see it, my indicator's kind of lagging. But it's a gap fill all the way up to about 267.20. Yeah, so I'm about to enter in calls on Tesla. Yeah, right about 2%. I like 260 calls for if you're going to play on the weekly. 260 calls on Tesla. Those look good. If you want to go a little more risky, it's not financial advice, it's just what I'm doing. You either can go the weekly, which is what's it, 411, or I'll say into next week, 417. Yeah. Watch how Tesla handles this 260 level. That's gonna be very critical. Look down on 15 minutes. So yeah, here you go. Tesla. Here you go. So yeah, I'm looking at Tesla 260 calls. It says on 4 hours. You guys see that okay? My target for Tesla is around 262, and then if we go past that, my next target for Tesla will be 270. Everybody let my chat know. If you guys want to know first, I usually post my trades and my insights on my Discord. I have a free tier. I have stuff that's completely free. I'm not trying to hit you guys over here or nothing. And I'm going to go live at least most days of the week. Kind of just go over these trades, let you guys know what's going on. I have timeline, so I'm gonna let it play out. It's rejecting around this 257. Yeah, we're down 251, so it's showing a reversal. So right now I'm gonna just hold it for now, and then because we hit that bearish fair value gap, and see how it does. It's gonna react to touching. This can go on probably touch 247, around 240. 245. just letting it play out. If it holds its 250 level, that would be a good indicator. Gotta see what she wants to do. Here we check out SPY. SPY is gearing up for a move. We're up 0.43%. It's crazy because usually like almost half a percentage point, like half of like 1% in a regular day is considered good. But the market's been so crazy that we've been moving like 8% in a day. See SPY is like rejected off right here as well. Only some 15-minute. Yeah, like I was saying, I want to see SPY get back above 530. Look at the VIX. Yeah, my bad, guys. I was messing up all my little message. There you go. Maybe about 9:53. At 10 o'clock, that's when you like to. That's when I like to pay attention. Around 10 o'clock and 10:30. That's where if we're gonna have a reversal on the day. That's usually around the time that it's gonna happen. And especially for Tesla, if you begin to trade these stocks pretty often, you get to understand that each stock has its own behaviors, kind of like kids. They all got behaviors. Some of them do well up to all day, and some of them do well up to like 10 o'clock, 10:30 before you gotta take a nap or whatever. So the VIX, even though we've been shooting up, you see these strong wicks down, which wicks are basically like it's a point where price hit and it just bounced off really fast. It's like throwing a ball at a wall. So even though we were somewhat bullish on the VIX, which the VIX measures like fear was way higher, you see we're kind of like pulling back some. This is the 4-hour time frame, so we're pulling back some. I like to start my way high and work it down. So I'm gonna go down to the 15-minute to kind of get a better understanding of what the VIX is doing, and we're coming down a little bit from where we started up today. I don't know if you guys hear that, but my dog is sleeping. She's snoring a good bit. But, so yeah, I want to see the VIX get down below like 41 pretty soon if we're gonna have a bullish day. This is the thing. If you see that the VIX is like creeping up while stocks are going up, that is showing you that a big move is happening, and it's usually gonna be a reversal to the downside. If the VIX is creeping up and stocks are going up, the stocks staying up is not going to happen for long. The VIX measures fear, so that wouldn't make sense for fear to be going up and the stocks to be going up. Right now, here we're looking at Tesla. We just hit a 3, which means it's an outside day. I don't know if you guys can see that already. It's an outside day. So this basically means that it triggered the high and the low, at least on this time frame. So you saw we went up and we triggered calls on Tesla. It was like we hit 257.74, but we also triggered a low at 250.69. Here we go out and look on my 4-hour time frame. We still triggered calls, but right now you see we kind of wicked down some. So we really want to see Tesla just fully. If it's gonna go up, it really needs to gain some steam. So yeah, we gotta check that out. Here we go. Let's go down to 1-hour time frame. This is what's stopping Tesla right now. We have this bearish fair value gap. And this is where I was telling you guys where these fair value gaps is just an area where we may have moved too fast and there's a gap in price. So if you go to the concept of that 80% of gaps like to fill, before continuous direction. That's what's going on. And since it's bearish, that means that it can touch this price and then start to head back down. But what I'm looking for with Tesla, and why I do have some, I want to say hope, but have like a bullish sentiment for it, is just because how beat down it's been, especially compared to a lot of the other stocks. And then also just the setup that we have coming over here. It's actually building up to make a move. Granted, I feel like our biggest test will be once we get towards 260, around 262. So I'm just letting this play out. I'm gonna set a trigger alert for below 250. If we start breaking below 250 on Tesla, that's why I'll consider getting out of my position. You just let that play out. Go back to the VIX. VIX still like it's creeping down some. Now I'm going to check out SPY. Oh, this is BlackRock. If you guys were on my live earlier when I was doing pre-market breakdown, I gave you the triggers for BlackRock. We're up by 1%. I feel like for this one, let me see, it's about 867. So good target on BlackRock. If we can break into this fair value gap right here, BlackRock definitely is headed towards 880, and then we start filling that gap up. 890 is definitely not out of the question. So we just need to see some consistency, a good push. Here's another one I'm checking out. It's NVIDIA. Chips seem like they're up a little bit in pre-market. Let me see what it's doing now. Oh yeah, NVIDIA, oh my gosh. It's up about 2.5%. We're at 110. We're at 110 on NVIDIA, 110.21. It's climbing. So for NVIDIA, I definitely want to see, what is this? I'm gonna go over a 4-hour time frame. So we already triggered calls on NVIDIA. The first target for NVIDIA is 110.86. I definitely feel like we're gonna pass that for sure. I don't say for sure, but we can definitely pass that. And then our next target will be 112. Then 115. That's a big test for NVIDIA. 115. That's a big test. If we're going to continue this theme, I want to see that reach 115. If we get to 115, then I'll start looking into something for next week. Because that's pretty risky. I feel like swinging into next week just because of the volatility that we've had. You want to be very conscientious about the swings that you pass. So a lot of times I've been doing just day trades. But if we look here, we're on the daily time frame. I don't know if you guys can see, we're coming off this green bar, which is like a 2 bar. And then we're going to these 1 bar, which is basically inside. It's basically talking about consolidation. So it's like we had a directional move and consolidation. When you have 2 days just built up consolidation, that is a good indicator that a larger move is setting up. So that's kind of like, I always kind of relate it to like a pot boiling. So if you have water and there's like steam building up inside of it, it's boiling up. It's gonna, explode or overflow at some point. But now if we keep pushing and we trigger this, we go past this previous high of 110.89, that resistance level, is gonna trigger a 2, which basically turns into a directional move. Excuse me. And that's where we can start targeting 115, which would be a larger move from 110 to 115. That's a $5 move. You can make a good amount of money there. NVIDIA's contracts are pretty cheap. I'm actually going to take a look at some of their contracts right now. Let's see. Here, Tesla just alerted me. It's breaking below 250. This is what I was saying about checking to see what it's going to do. Check out. Yeah, the VIX is coming back up. definitely something to be conscientious about. Because now the VIX is up at like 5%. So if Tesla is breaking 250 and we're getting 5%, I'm gonna look at Tesla to see. Looks like it's gonna test down this fair value gap at 247 and 245. Oh yeah, it's moving down there fast. With the VIX creeping up, this makes me a little less strong sentiment on Nvidia. Just something I was saying to watch for. But we're just gonna let it play out. It's about 10 o'clock. So my stop out point for Tesla would be below this previous candle. So 245.03. That's my stop out point for Tesla. Granted, the calls that I have for Tesla, they go into next week, so I have a little bit of time on them. If Tesla gets below 245.03, that's where I'll get out at. And just chalk it up. You win some, you lose some. I just sent that to my buddy the other day, or today, this morning. He's pretty big in our betting part of our Discord, where we do like our parlays or whatever. And then he was just like, he went 5 out of 6 on his parlay, and I was like, bro, like you still won some money on that 5 out of 6, and I was like, hit him with that Friday hit him with Pops from Friday. He was like, you win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. So that's another thing. Let's go back to the VIX. So yeah, we're up almost 7% on the VIX. Oh, we're not playing. We all know the VIX, it started moving. It might get ugly real quick. In these type of markets, if you're day trading these type of markets, you definitely gotta stay nimble. You can't just like set a trade and just walk away because you're looking kind of crazy. Like I did that a couple weeks ago. I had to take a meeting, set a trade. I was up probably like $1,000. I came back out down $600, and it was just I was sick. But it's part of the game. It's just like once this volatility settles down, you're not gonna really have to deal with like this type of like wild swings that we're having. So here we go. Tesla sitting right here in this bullish fair value gap. I'm just letting it play out. I'm going down to a 1 minute just to look. I don't trade off the 1 minute. I know some people that do, but that is not for me. I don't like that type of volatility. I don't want them type of struggles in my life. There could be get some good money off of that though, but that is not for me. Here, let me check out. Someone just told me about Dollar General. This is one I've been trading for a little while. If you guys want to know like some stocks to look at for a long term, like if we go into a recession, which we might already be in a recession, but some consumer staples or like resilient stocks, look at Dollar General, Domino's Pizza, Ulta. You'll be surprised makeup actually like does pretty well in a recession. There's a few others to check out. So yeah, Tesla still going down. And then the VIX, we went down about 2%. We were just up almost 7. Let's see what's going on here. So we're really kind of just seeing like this. We're seeing a move on the VIX, but it's nothing like crazy yet. Makes me feel like we're not really setting up for our larger move. we're not gonna take our larger moves yet. If you have any questions, put them down in chat. I'll happily go over them. Let me see what Apple's doing. For some reason, Apple's been pretty resilient over these last few weeks. Like, I don't know, did y'all hear about when they were scared about like, the Trump tariffs or whatever going into effect? Apple like flew like 5 tons worth of iPhones over the border from like India. And then somebody was making a joke. I saw it on social media. Someone was like, Trump hit them with them tariffs, and Apple started moving like Franklin the Saint from from Snowfall. Try to bring them things across the border. But what is Apple 192 today? Oh wow, Apple is bullish. Apple is bullish. I would say just be careful of this fair value gap around 195. We see also kind of reject off 195 before. So I like this, but for me personally, I will wait till around 195 just because it starts to enter that bearish fair value gap, and just know we can like look off the area and kind of stall out. And since I'm already in my trades, I'm not gonna over leverage myself or anything like that. So we get to 195 and start to continue up. Of course, the next target, like what's 197? That's not really a strong target. It really be 200. If Apple gets to 200, we really can start going somewhere. But look for 195 for now. And then we're also, this is on the day, we're also on a double inside on the day. So yeah, if we get above 195, looks like the high 194.78, and we start pushing above that, yeah, that'll be a 212. So obviously, it was like coming off a direction of 2, which is a move up. The 1 was the consolidation, and then that'll turn into a 2. That'll be a sign of a nice push up. That gives us some momentum right there. So yeah, definitely over 195. Apple looks really good. The big test for Apple, this is like way down the line, but the big test for Apple will be like around this 220 area, where this is like where our previous support was, and we're in a trend line. We're also in a trend channel before with Apple. Here, let me pull it so you guys can see. But yeah, we also were in a trend with Apple, and you see it kind of broke down here. If we get into this 220, we can really get back inside the channel and start looking good again. But there's a gap here too as well from it's 207.49 all the way up to 225. That's a nice move. Yeah, I like Apple. If we get over 195 and show some strength, like look for volume picking up and just look for a sustained move. It doesn't have to just keep staying like just rising pretty quickly. It just needs to show some strength. Like it's staying here, it's gonna keep consolidating, holding that floor. So definitely keep Apple on your watch list. Yeah, I like Apple. I'm gonna go back and look at the VIX, see what's going on. Alright, we're down on 1.97% on the VIX. So that means the VIX is going down. That means we're still staying kind of bullish. Nvidia is looking good. I really like how Nvidia is setting up. Here, I'm kind of turn this so you guys can see better. Hold on a second. Yeah, I got a little too much light coming in here. Yeah, I like Nvidia, especially if we get over that 110 area. I like that. I'm gonna go check back in on Tesla, see how we're doing. So yeah, Tesla, we're back around 249. We're still kind of staying on an inside day. I have calls on Tesla, but I'm seeing how they're gonna play out. My calls on Tesla, they're going into next week. Let me just a little bit bigger so I can see. Right now on these lower time frames, Tesla look bearish on the 15-minute. We're still bullish on the 4-hour. Look at the 1 hour. Bullish on the 1 hour. Yeah, that's gonna take some time to play out. Well, we really get back in the groove is Tesla over 250. That's where I really feel like we'll start to move. Have a good move right there. VIX is playing. It's back up 4%. What is it, about 10, 12? Let me look at what data we got coming out. I know we have something later on today. Yeah, it's really in a chop fest right now. So we had consumer sentiment come out a couple minutes ago. We got a Fed president, St. Louis Fed President Alberto Mussolini, whatever, speaking. One of the Fed presidents is speaking. So I'm gonna look at what's going on with that. Let me see what the consumer sentiment is looking like. JP Morgan's earnings. Here, BlackRock CEO said the U.S. is very close to a recession and maybe in one now. Okay, it's funny because it's good when the big people start to say it, but I've been saying this for months. Let me see. Yeah, University of Michigan survey inflation expectations. 1 year 6.7%, expected is 5.2%. So this basically means that people are expecting inflation to be higher over the next year. 5 to 10 year inflation. 4.4%, expected 4.3%. So that's pretty much kind of in tune. That's pretty much in line. Let's see. So they say consumer sentiment has dropped to its lowest level since peak 2022. Yeah, it tumbled in April. So this basically shows that people, let me see, here you go. Consumer sentiment is at 50.8. It was estimated to be at 54. This is showing that people are not loving this. We're not loving this market. People are not out trying to buy a bunch of brand new things right now. Here, Tesla is back at 250. Let me see. I'm gonna make this bigger so you guys can see it. This was what I was talking about as far as like the fair value gaps. You see like this green like highlighter bar is a fair value gap. What I was saying is price moves too fast, whatever, and it creates a gap. But this bullish fair value gap we got here and instead of breaking below, it kind of built up a little bit of a base. Whether it's going to completely break out of here is remains to be seen. Because right above it, we have this small fair value gap. So this is where I was saying we need to break above like 250, really above 251 to really see a move for Tesla back up. Cause you see it's kind of wicking off right off of that red fair value gap. But we're still holding support at 250, so that's kind of a good sign. I was saying my stop out on Tesla is like 245, but I'm just leave this alone for now. Go back to Nvidia. The video's still looking cool. Kind of stalling out right now. But yeah, the market's kind of slowing down right now. It's about 10:17, so around 10:30 we might see a little bit, but really kind of slow. We're not gonna really see nothing probably till later on. If you guys have any questions or want me to go over anything, just let me know. I definitely say follow my page, tune in. I go live several times a week. I put my first insights, my first trades inside my Discord, where I put everything, and we're also building out an app. It's gonna be pretty cool. I basically built a system that does pretty well with doing personalized insights for people, because we all trade different styles, we all bet different styles, we all think differently when it comes to like making money moves. So with Coach Next, that's what I call it. When Coach Next, it's gonna be catered to you and what you like to do, not just me giving you a whole bunch of random stuff. So that's what we're working on. It's something nice. You definitely want to be around for that. Definitely stay tuned into the Discord as we roll that out pretty soon. But I have a ton of free content, basically showing you the basics of what to look for, how I set up my chart, and then I tune in, I answer questions as fast as I can. And we have people in the chat that's around like all the time. So even if you're like in the middle of the night thinking about a question, like, oh, I can't wait to pass, just go ahead and put it in the chat. Tesla looking kind of bearish. We'll see though. Let's see what else is out there. Pull up my watch list. Tesla might trigger my stop out. Is at 245. We'll see though. No. Yeah, the VIX getting up to about 7.5%. This is gearing up for a move. We're starting to bounce a little bit around this area. We'll see. Be okay, done turned around. Where do we get up to? About 871 before they pull back a little bit. Yeah, this sideways move is just mind numbing. Or we're up on the VIX by 9.24%. If we keep rising on the VIX, really if we get above like 45, probably start seeing some real action today. So probably that definitely be to the downside though. If we get above 45 on the VIX. Check something out real quick. Look at Palantir, PLTR. They're looking pretty bearish. Yeah, they trigger puts, but they also have this support area coming up around 84.90, so around 85. So they trigger puts for now. I'm gonna see how that's gonna play out. Yeah, just so you guys know, Fridays typically do not mark out a bottom on the day. So Tesla, we're down to 245. It's getting real bearish really quickly. Yeah, triggered outside day. So Tesla's triggering puts. Just so I can head down to 240. I'm gonna go ahead and get out. So it's like about $140 loss on that one. It's okay. VIX are up on 11%. We just want to check out SPY, see what SPY is doing. Only down by 0.5%. We're still on the inside day on SPY. Yeah, there's no real like movement happening. No, I hate when it gets like this, honestly, because it's just chop. You're gonna basically eaten up by theta all day. But this would be the best time if you're gonna do a spread. Basically, what I was talking about. If you're gonna do a spread, this would be a good time to do that while we have just a sideways movement. And spreads, you basically can benefit off of just collecting theta, like collecting premium from the market not moving. And a spread typically is like when you're playing. So if you're playing both sides, you limit your downside, but you also limit your upside as well. So it's like a calculated move for risk. And that's the biggest thing about trading is risk management. Now you're not gonna win every single trade, but your goal is to just manage your risk, and then the trades you do win, you have good upside, and then the trades you lose, you minimize the risk so you don't just blow your whole account. That's where people go wrong. They try to they go long on stock, and they're like, I'm just throw the whole few $1,000s or whatever. And then when it goes the other way, you're looking crazy because it's like you didn't manage your risk. Instead of trading that whole $1,000, only risk like $100, $150 if you can. You just gotta be smart about that. I might ready to take a break just because we're not really seeing anything, nothing exciting right now. I'm still keep eyes on Tesla, maybe for a re-entry, but for right now, it's looking pretty bearish. We already got down a little bit below 245. It's hitting this bearish fair value gap. You see it's still kind of coming back down. Just look at. Yeah, not really having nothing going on. Let me check out Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a good bit of movement before we got on, like this morning. Oh wow. Oh, that's a 5 minute chart. Let me pause on. Yeah, Bitcoin was up to like almost 83,000 this morning. So yeah, it got up to what is this? No, I got an 83,245 before we started to pull back some. Just down to 81. So yeah, we started out the day kind of decent move up and it's just pulling back, pulling back. I think it's just falling into some bearish fair value gaps. I mean some bullish fair value gaps. So I'll look for this Bitcoin to kind of get some support around. What is this? Around right at 81. And then like this 80K, I can see it just consolidating around that area for a little while. Yeah, if the VIX rising like this and we just kind of lingering around, definitely look like we're getting ready for a nice push down. This is SPY. Let's see. Just trying to get an idea of the trend line I'm looking at. Just kind of a little bearish right here. I mean, you guys can already see that. Yeah, we got support right at 520. So if we break 520, that's when you really see like SPY kind of getting some steam to the downside. Check out Netflix. Netflix is barely down. It looks like they popped into, popped into open. We got up to 944 and like 919. not much to look at right now. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off chat, and then I'll be back a little bit later. I like Tesla maintaining that little support around 245. I already got out though, but I'll look at re-entering a little bit later. Alright, y'all. Tune back in a little bit later, probably about an hour or so. Probably around lunchtime. Peace. Y'all definitely follow the channel if y'all want more live streams, kind of going over the market, going over some of these chart breakdowns. There's a link in bio. It's to my Instagram. You can join my Discord. It's free. You get a lot of free game in there. We also do sports betting. We have a lot of stuff rolling out, so definitely tune in, check it out.